What's up, guys? So this is another discussion video, just talking about some stuff. So if you're not into listening to me talk for 5 to 10 minutes, go ahead and skip it to the next one. If you are, the topic of this video is going to be why imposter syndrome is not exactly a bad thing. A lot of people have talked to me, and I've experienced it myself, about imposter syndrome as elite athletes or as coaches or as professionals in whatever sphere they find themselves in. But if you get good at something or start serving people a product that comes from your own knowledge or your experience, a lot of the times you're going to get into a position where you don't question your ability, but you kind of just step back and marvel at the fact, like, holy shit, people are paying me money or coming to me with these questions. Who the fuck am I? Why do I have the authority to answer these questions or give them to this? Or what have I done that makes my opinion or my experience worth it? Some people don't struggle with this. Some people don't experience it, but I would argue that if you're in anything long enough, you're going to come across a certain degree of imposter syndrome at some point. However, a lot of the times people think that imposter syndrome is a bad thing. We think that it's a questioning of our confidence, an insecurity in some way in our own education experience or resume, and we think about it with a negative connotation. The purpose of this video is to basically get you to reframe that thought and maybe consider imposter syndrome isn't exactly a bad thing. Jake and I were talking the other day about why that might be, and he made an incredible point, because I feel as though Jake is a more intelligent person than myself in certain aspects of, like, biochemistry, neurological sciences, or some of the applications of, like, sports performance. And he believes that I'm better than him in certain ways to analyze movement, biomechanics, having an eye for movement, an eye for implementing changes to a person's patterns to maybe get them make them feel better. But the cool thing about imposter syndrome, and the cool thing about feeling imposter syndrome as you go throughout your career as a coach, as a professional, as an athlete, whatever, is that it makes you realize that there's more for you to learn out there. There's more for you to do. So I would go on to even argue that if you don't experience imposter syndrome at any point, that you are pigeonholing yourself into either too much of a specialization or too much of an overconfidence in the fact that you don't think or don't question the fact, is there anything that I could be doing better? So next time you feel imposter syndrome, or next time you have a client come to you or a friend or anything come to you about it with a question or with consideration, or just looking for your perspective because of the things that you've done, your experience, your experience, whether it be anecdotal or professional or whatever. Next time they come to you and you find yourself questioning, like, why the fuck are they coming to me? Like, do I deserve this? Don't think about that in a negative way. Think about it in the sense that you do deserve this. You can provide value to them, and you can provide service to them, whether it be through coaching or advice or just giving them an ear to listen. But remember that feeling of imposter syndrome, and remember that because you're feeling that and because you're questioning your experience, your intelligence, your how worth you are, your own value, you're questioning that, then take that initiative and go on and learn more. Be a student of the game, of whatever avenue you find yourself in. Continually try to learn, continually try to be better. And every time you feel a moment where you're like, man, am I deserving of this? Say yes, but also tell yourself that you can do a little bit more and you can be a little bit more deserving, because one of the most beneficial things of working with Jake and becoming so close with him over this past year, and I've said it in a million posts beforehand, I feel as though I've learned more in the past year than I have in the past 5 years of my training, simply because he has pushed me to become better and learn more and apply the the more biochemical, scientific, small microbiology side of things to my own training and my own clients' training. And that little feeling of like, fuck, am I good enough? That's pushed me to become even better than I was before. And it's worked in the same way with him. It's worked between me and Brianni. And I urge you guys, because I coach a lot of people, and a lot of my clients are coaches themselves. Don't let imposter syndrome paralyze you. Let it inspire you and let it push you to become better and seek out knowledge so that you eliminate the opportunity for that imposter syndrome to paralyze you and come to you in a negative way, and reframe it so every time you think of imposter syndrome or you think, man, am I good enough? You can confidently say, yes, I am, but there is more to do. So that's my little tidbit of advice today. Imposter syndrome is not bad. Nothing is all the way negative in this world, whether it's a professional feedback, your own introspection, your own consideration, or the criticism you receive from the clients, the people that you're serving, whatever. It all can be oriented to benefit you and further benefit the people that you work with and provide better service, provide better value as you go along, as long as you are always trying to orient yourself to become better and to become more of what you were in the past. So imposter syndrome, not always a bad thing. It just depends on what you do with it.